Morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, folks. Good morning, folks. How are you? How are you? As you can see, we're just getting right into it today. I don't have much. Actually, before, if this is your first time tuning into me, name Aswan Crookshank, one and only Move Swiftly speaker, former Division I college football player, and current five-time published author and educator. What I do is I take the lessons from teamwork that you learn on the football field and apply them to businesses and everything like that. And I have a lot to get to today. As you can see, I'm a little less prepared than I normally am to start the show because my team just took an ass kicking, a spanking, a 55-point ass kicking. And I just got to I just got to talk about it. I got to get it all off my chest because, here's how you know if you're a real fan. This is the test. Are you willing to come on here the next morning after your team don't really handle their business the way you hope they would? Are you actually a real fan? Are you going to show up the next day regardless of what the results are? Are you still going to be your boys regardless? All right. So before I get into it, I got a couple of things planned today. We're going to go through just the game in general, how the game went, how it can be applied to your business, and just what you have to take away from how things actually turned out. All right. And we're not going to sit around and talk about moral victories and things of that sort, because this is professional football. This is the NFL. As you can see, as we proved this year, turnover is rampant. There's constant turnover every single year, constantly changing. So there's no guarantee that we're going to be back here next to these this sense that I'm already getting. Now, I don't live in Maryland anymore, but I live in South Florida, and I keep up with all of the, I'm all over the, all over the fan group sites, and I stay informed when it comes to my team and all that. The sense that I'm getting is if it's just some sort of guarantee that we're going to be back. And I want to remove that mindset because it's a dangerous mindset to have when it comes to pro football. So before we get into all that, let me just get through some announcements real quick. First things first, anyone out here in the West Palm Beach area, if you're interested, free boxing lessons. We do those every single 2 weeks. Just hit the QR code right there on your screen if you're interested, and we'll get you the information as soon as possible. Next thing, business owners, if you have not yet, make sure you tap into freeguide.makeitmove.com. I created a 10-step process. Not a 10-step process, but a 10-step system in which you can utilize right now to create more efficiency within your teams and make it so people are walking into your business, walking into your office, walking into wherever it is you do your work, and they have a purpose. If you apply these 10 steps, 10 bullet points that I have laid out in this free guide. And finally, tap into the Patreon link, patreon.com. We're a week away, not even a week away, 5 days or so away from February and month into the 2025. And this is primarily where I'm going to be doing I'm going to be putting out a lot of my content and, working primarily with the folks that are in the Patreon community. So let me just explain this to you all, especially again, I'm a Commanders fan. I am a football fan. I have played the game. I've coached the game. I've scouted the game. I know the game in and out. All right. And a huge part of the reason that I have felt compelled and obligated to come on here and speak and build my business around the concepts of the game is because what you're going to hear today, what you're going to hear probably for the next 2 weeks in the mainstream media, is a bunch of soap opera BS when it comes to the mainstream media. That's what they do. They're going to take it and then they're going to make it, oh, well, Jaden Daniels didn't step up. They're going to make it, okay, Jalen Hurts did this. Okay, Pat Mahomes didn't do this. And Pat Mahomes did or didn't do this. And Josh Allen did or didn't do this. You're not going to hear enough about what the game is all about, what was actually, how the game was actually won and lost. So what I will do is I'm going to pull up the video that I did yesterday. Where I spoke about in depth. Hold on real quick. Let me make sure it's queued up. Where I spoke about in depth, all right, the importance of blocking and tackling when it comes to football. All right. I'm going to play a video I told you guys yesterday, blocking and tackling, about blocking and tackling, what the keys to victory were. Then I'm going to go through some of the highlights, the big time Philadelphia Eagle highlights that were made. And granted, we didn't help ourselves at all. We started out the game, man, we started out the game. We took damn near half the quarter. All right. We started out the game as perfect as you can possibly start at the game. We ate up the clock. Jayden Daniels converted. We were aggressive. We converted on several fourth downs, and we ended the drive with a touchdown. All right. The touchdown. We outplayed Philly for the first quarter. We outplayed them. Absolutely outplayed them. And then we give up a long kick return. And then the first play from scrimmage, we give up a huge touchdown. That, again, it doesn't matter how well you play if you're not able to block and tackle. Blocking and tackling, again, is how you win football games in the National Football League. I'm gonna cue up the video that. Let me cue it up real quick. I'm gonna cue up the video that I spoke about this. Let's see here. We gotta share this. Not the Chrome tab, no. No, that's not the one I want. That's not the one I want. Give me the other one. Real quick. Hold up. Wait a minute. There we go. All right, yes. Wait, hold up. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That's why I gotta do it. All right, yeah. I'm telling you, I'm new to the whole thing. So just cut me some slack. I just realized I have to actually unminimize it. All right. So here it is. Here's me talking yesterday. As you can see, it's only 23 hours ago, where I make it a point, regardless of the result, I want to make sure you guys understand that this is a football game, not a tennis match. Go.
As Warren Crookshank, your one and only News Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily News Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork you will not get anywhere else. It's a big day. Everybody from the DMV knows what I'm talking about. Everybody born and raised in the DMV, we know what we're talking about. And everybody that grew up, die hard, Washington Redskins fan, knows what I'm talking about. All right, it's a big, enormous day for us. We have an opportunity to beat a team that we just beat literally a couple weeks ago. We obviously have the capability of beating, the ability of beating. All right, there's an opportunity to beat the common foe, NFC East rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, to beat them for a chance to compete, and dare I say it, a Super Bowl. Washington Commanders, Washington Redskins, whatever it is you want to call them, have an opportunity to compete in a Super Bowl. Just saying it. Oh no, just saying it. It's like wow. All right, so before I get, I ain't gonna say too much about the game. I ain't gonna give too much detail. I'm gonna stay locked in. I'll be obviously finding the game somewhere where I can watch it, focus, analyze it, break it down. We'll react to it tomorrow and all that kind of stuff. What I do want to talk about, as far as today's News Swiftly thought is concerned, we got to talk about something that I know the mainstream media is going to do. All right, I know the mainstream media is going to do it. Whenever I discuss football, this is one of the reasons why I always tell you, I become, as the years have gone by, become more of a fan actually of the college games than the NFL game, because the NFL game, it's too much media and what the media does. When I say too much media, I don't mean necessarily so. In the mainstream media, I just personally, for my own mental health, I can't take it when it comes to when they talk NFL football, because the only two things they're going to talk about are the quarterback and the head coach. They will be saying stupid nonsense nonsense like, oh, can Josh Allen beat Pat Mahomes? Can Jaden Daniels beat Jalen Hurts? As if them two are on the field at the same time. So one of the things that I want to make sure I emphasize to you all as we get into this huge Sunday on NFL Sunday, Championship NFL Sunday, is to remind you folks, especially the regular consumers of my work, that this is a football game getting ready to be played, not a tennis match. This is not a tennis match between the two quarterbacks. It's not a tennis match between two people. It is a football game, and the team that wins is going to be the team that's able to do two simple things. This is what's going to happen for you to win today's game. You're going to have to block, and you're going to have to tackle. Period, point blank, end of story. Your playmakers are going to be your playmakers on both sides of the ball. But at the end of the day, every single football game boils down to these two things: who's blocking better and who's tackling better that day. We're talking about the consistency of the entirety of all four quarters. Who's blocking better and who's tackling better. I'll leave you off with the most famous, or probably my favorite quote when it comes to all the football stuff, all the coaching legends and the coaching guides and everything that I've consumed over the past couple of decades at this point is the man that the Super Bowl trophy was named after, Vince Lombardi. He once famously said, the people try to find things in this game that just aren't there. The game is only going to boil down to two things: blocking and tackling. No truer words have ever been spoken in regards to the game of football. All right. All that being said, main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work. It's makeyourmove.com. That's MAKEYAMOVE.com.
All right. So before I continue, you saw it, right? Clearly said it 23 hours, a little over 23 hours ago. Let me just make sure my sound is working as we move forward, because I saw something come up saying that I have to unmute. Testing, test. So before I continue, test. Clearly said it 23 hours, a little over 23 hours ago. Let me just make sure my sound is working as we move forward, because I saw something come up saying that. All right, so yes, I have to unmute. Sound is working. Sound check 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, so test. All right. So as you can see, blocking and tackling, right? That really is what the game boiled down to in terms of how you win, what it's all about. And I bring this to your attention because that's what today's episode is going to be about. It's going to be about, the little things, how the little things make for bigger things. When you're talking about the game of football, blocking and tackling is the foundation. It is what every team needs to do, regardless of how great your quarterback is, regardless of how great the guys on the perimeter is, regardless of how great even Saquon Barkley is, which we're going to get to the Philly highlights. I'm going to react to the Philadelphia highlights in a second. Regardless of how great your perimeter and your skill guys are, the blocking has to be there. The blocking needs to be there. There were times during yesterday's game between the Eagles and Commanders where I was excited because I saw the defense for the Commanders stepping up. Louva, I saw him stepping up. They were getting in. They were not letting him. Obviously, Saquon, he ripped off a couple of huge runs that really broke the game wide open. The turnovers obviously didn't help us at all, putting us as a defense in just horrible situations. And we couldn't work ourselves out of it. But the blocking of the Philadelphia Eagles, again, I got to give them their respect. I got to give them their props because they have a solid offensive line. They really do. I mean, even without Jason Kelce, that O-line for Philly was able to make enough plays to where even without Saquon, the backup running back that they were bringing in, he was out there getting nasty. They got the score got so out of hand and got so lopsided, they put their backups in, and the backup, Will Shipley, he was out there getting busy. So it really didn't matter. If you really think about it, didn't matter who was behind there as a running back, as long as that offensive line was there making plays and doing their thing. So that's one thing. As a business, you got to start to ask yourself, what are the foundational pieces that are going to make it so regardless of who I bring in, there's a system in place, there's a foundation in place, there's something in place, there's a system in place in which the talent can flourish. To where if I bring in a talented person, I already have a solid enough foundation in which the talent is going to flourish. That is the biggest difference that I see between Saquon, Philadelphia Eagle version of Saquon and New York Giant version of Saquon. All right. They went and they paid a quarterback that wasn't proven without soliding up that offensive line, making sure that the run game was where it needed to be. They obviously made a huge mistake in regards to where they were going to put their money, because they put their money in a quarterback who just didn't have it. Again, doesn't have what it takes, and ultimately they're paying the price. So let me pull up. Let me react to some of these. I want to react to the highlights. So this is the first time. This is completely impromptu, by the way, guys. So I'm going to pull up the Philadelphia Eagles highlights, and I'm going to react to it in real time. And then we're going to get into the making. It still is Monday. So I have to get to the Make It Move Monday kickoff question for the day, and we're going to dive into the kickoff question a little bit. But I want to pull up the highlights real quick of the championship game. And I guarantee you, as I'm pulling up these highlights now,
got this dream.
I want to make sure,
and you're all,
you guys, I'm going to make sure we break down each play so you understand where the plays was won, where it was lost. All those sorts of things matter in business. It matters because as we continue to move forward with the stories, we continue to move forward with the game and apply the game to our business, a lot of these things are going to come back when you realize, hey, the game is bigger than oohs and ahs. The game is bigger than, long fly routes down the field. The game is bigger than these home run hits. Things were blocked a certain way. Angles weren't taken. And when you apply it, when you align it with your business, you start to see it from a different lens. This is why, again, no matter what, when it comes to the topic and the subject and the work I do, I'm never going to run out of content, because the game is constantly teaching you business owners teaching business owners, gives opportunities, gives lessons towards business owners in terms of how to build a solid foundation for your organization, to where it is so much bigger than talent. So let's get into some of these highlights from yesterday's ass kicking that we took. We got to call it what it is. It was a straight up mollywhopping by the Philadelphia Eagles, a straight behind whooping. Let me see. I don't want to have to make it full mode though. Let's see if I can. We'll unmute. I want to see if you guys can see that. All right. So let me react to it here. This is all right. 1st and 15. Yeah, let's go. All right, let's pause right there. See this? Steps up in the pocket, doesn't have much to go. All right, that was the first play. This was the first drive. I want to see if I can let's scrub through. This was the first drive. This one was kind of long. So the first drive was as perfect as the first drive. All right, let's do it. So first drive, we started with, let's just look at the time here. 15, we have 15 minutes on the clock here, right? First drive. Let's get it to the first. We kicked the field goal, right? We didn't score on that, right? We didn't. Right. But it didn't end in the end zone. All right. That's right. So here's what happened. This was probably the biggest backbreaker, because as good of a drive this was really where this was the problem. Right. It's coming back. First drive, we take up damn near half the quarter. take up half the quarter, and we only end up with a field goal. All right. Overall, I thought that was okay, seeing that we controlled the game and things like that. But this right here is where we have a problem, where the problem started. You can't give up a long kick return after a drive like this. You just can't do it. You can't do it. You cannot do it. All right. You cannot do it. Special teams is such a huge part of the game, but you cannot be giving up long kick returns when your offense was able to create such a grueling drive and control the game. So you give up this kick return. Look at this. Missed tackle. Barely gets him down. And this was the most disgusting part right here. Jesus Christ. All right. Let me go back. Point of attack here. All right. All right. Point of attack. Boom. You see this tackle. He pulls around. A.J. Brown is just sealing the guy off. Here. Watch this backer right here. Out of boom. I don't know, and I'm the last person to tell Bobby Wagner, a veteran, potential Hall of Famer, how to play the position, but I'm not seeing I don't see what he's seeing here. Inside out, it has to be here. And this actually, no, it's this outside, but I don't know if they had a blitz on or something, but this outside backer, let me see if I can, this outside backer here, who's right? Yeah, right here. This is it. This is the problem right here, right there. Okay. I see it. Okay. Here's the issue right here. This is what springs him. Okay. Right here. Watch number 6. For some reason, instead of setting the edge, he turns his back and it throws off the entire play. When you're a defensive end, edge control, okay, and you get a toss coming your way. It's a toss coming your way. I get what they're doing with Devontae Smith, but this guy's pulling around. He's just trying to shield you off. It's coming your way. When you get the toss, you got to hold your edge. You can't turn your back. Look at this. His back is turned, guys. His back is turned. All A.J. Brown has to do, a wide receiver, is touch him, push him a little bit, and then he gets in the way of this middle backer here. The middle backer, Bobby Wagner, right? He gets in his way to the point where Bobby Wagner, it's hard for him to actually see the play. So now, and I mean, this guy, obviously you're watching Devontae Smith, I get. But if you take a picture of it, just look at it right there. This guy having his back turned right here, your edge player having your back turned, now you got a problem. Because now you got 1-2 on 1-2, and you got Saquon 1-on-1 with the backer. And I don't know who's winning that battle. No one's winning that. Boom. That's point of attack. So he falls down, and now you got Saquon in the open field. And again, nobody on planet Earth is making this tackle. Once you get him in space and he's out there, that's it. Good night. See ya. Gone. Spin move there, cut there, and he's out. That's the first play. From scrimmage. We just get some momentum. We control the game. We have the ball for half the damn quarter. We give them one play, touchdown. All right, so we get the ball back. This was a big drive because we had to answer. This was it. This was the fumble. All right, this was the fumble. All right, this was rough. This was rough to watch. This was rough to watch because this was, I like the call. Great call. Unbelievable call. Shout out to Cliff Kingsbury. Great call. Now, here, bang. This was the problem. I remember yelling at him, from the TV screen. This step right here where you choose to go left, right. We choose to go left as opposed to going north, south, east, west. This is what you're doing. This is the problem I have with a lot of receivers, all right? As opposed to getting north, south, and getting the first down, you decide now, you try to get cute, you try to outrun people, and you obviously you have this hand out. You're holding the ball with one hand now. Now you're susceptible to being stripped, all right? It doesn't happen all the time, but again, great defense like the Philadelphia Eagles and all that kind of stuff, that's susceptible to happening because now you can't protect the ball because instead of getting downhill, taking the ball, at this point, you got to turn into a running back, right? You got to get the ball, go downhill, go get the first down. Instead, what you try to do is you try to bounce it out and look for the sideline, and then you end up getting stripped. Boom, boom, bang, out of there. Momentum. No pass rush. Great catch by Devontae Smith. Got to give him that. It was some questionable. Gosh. God. Another product of no pass rush there. Godly. I mean, this dude, Saquon. Look at the jump cut, guys. Look at the jump cut, right? Bang. Look at it. Look at it. Again, DN not holding his ground, not setting the edge. Look at his head. Look at the head of our DN versus the tackle. We used to call it getting reached like a big dog. You got reached like a big dog. Got reached like a big dog, right? If he sets the edge, then Saquon tries to bounce it. You have outside. You got to keep that outside shoulder free. The hole is filled by the backer. You got again both of those touchdown runs. The DN piston, shit down his, and this I don't know where he was throwing the ball there. All right, this was the play that I thought we had him here, man. I thought we had him here. This one, again, Dan Quinn. I got to give you credit, my guy. I thought we had him. Here on this one. This one was gutsy, it was ballsy, and you did what you had to. I thought we had him here. Good. Got away from pressure. At that point, you got to get rid of it. Just get rid of it. You're outside the tackle box. Don't take a sack in a situation like that. Whew. When they say when they say this kid is something special, these are the kind of throws they're talking about. I mean, this is right in between. This is triple coverage here. No, double coverage. Let's see it. Oh, this is the play before. Again, can't take a sack there. Throw it away. But here's the play. Watch it. Steps up. I want to play that again. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Threads the needle. Boom. Way to go, JD5. I like it. And then settling for fucking field goals. Not going to win. Not against that offense. Not against this team. All right, let's see it again. Boom. All right, I got to pause it here. Running backs. Young running backs. Tune in. Young running backs. Listen to me very carefully. If you want to make it to the league, watch this guy right here, 26, and watch the way he steps up and takes on this block. All right. This is how you play running back if you're trying to make it to the National Football League. See, nobody's going to talk about this. No mainstream media is going to cover this. But the way Saquon steps up and takes on this blitzing linebacker opens up the pass game. All right. That's what you have to do if you're trying to play running back. If you're trying to go where Saquon's go, look at it. Bang! Right there. That's how you step up. Look at him. He puts him on the ground. Come on, man. Come on. That's how you play the position. And it opens up the pass, opens up the short intermediate game. Look at what they do. I hate that stupid shit that they do. That needs to be outlawed, my son. I don't like it. All right. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I thought we had him here. I did. I thought we had him. I thought the defense started to step up, and then they missed this one, which was great. All right. Again, offensively, probably it's too much going to the tight end. Great play by that corner. Again, what are we seeing, though? What are we seeing? Let's go back to that play. What are we seeing? Lack of blocking. When you don't block, you're not winning. A receiver not doing his damn job when it comes to the blocking. See, when receivers, and this is my complaint with a lot of receivers, all right? When they're getting the ball, when the ball is to them, they're coming off, firing off, and you know it. But with this situation here, this receiver is not blocking at all. I think it was Crowder who completely missed this block, and the obviously the receiver gets completely blown up. The play gets blown up. Terrible job blocking. Terrible. 5 wide, and oh yeah, this is all. I mean, again, it was great to see it. I get it, but you can't make a living off plays like this. All right, this is not something that's going to happen. This was like every once in a while, right? That's just an unbelievable effort on his end. It really was. It's not something that you could depend on. If you're going to win games, you got to win them ground methodically, the same way that they had to drive that first drive. That's the way it has to be. In this call, I understand it, but it only have one. Oh God, this play again, please. It was so frustrating watching that. There we go again. Bang. Hat on a hat on a hat. 1, 2, 3. The film don't lie, folks. The film does not lie. It doesn't lie. Boom. Point of attack. Boom. This guy's pulling around. This DN again isn't coming down with any. Like there's no hole. Look at the line of scrimmage. This blue line is the line of scrimmage, folks. Look at him getting his ass blown up. And then now you got a hat. You got a receiver blocking. Boom, boom, boom. Good night. First down. Actually, Devontae Smith could have did a better job blocking there. Steps up again. He picks up the blitz. Saquon picks up he got away with a hold, but at the end of the day, he picked up the blitz. He did get away with a hold. I will say that when you look at it. But at the same time, you just got to give him his props for stepping up and picking up this blitz like that. Boom. Picked up the blitz. Guy's wide open. A.J. Brown's wide open. He's even one-on-one. One of the most talented guys in the league. Let's get through this ad real quick. Yeah, and it was. He held him. That was a good job by Jalen Hurts extending the play. And, obviously, what they do with that dumbass play that they run, which I just can't stand. I don't like it. It's annoying. They didn't get that one, though. Nothing on specialty. Oh, yeah, that was the fumble. Right before this was the back break. God. Oh! This is a minute. 1 minute left to go in the second half. And you fumble the kickoff and you give them. This right here to me was the game. Another BS call. Like, come on, ref. Go suck your. You can't fumble the ball on kickoff returns and all that. All right, so back to the second, and we did get a field goal out of this, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. We did, drive down and get a field goal. And then you got to think too, like with our offense, had we not had that fumble on kickoff return, it's a different game because now it's 20 to 12. And then we have him coming down and we're able to at least come in with a field goal, make it 15-20, probably drive it in the end zone. The difference in that one, think about that one turnover, how it could have changed the complexion of the game. Blocking and tackling. There it is. We didn't block. They tackled. Period. End of sentence. Missed tackles. Again, give them that extra yards. We go again. No pass rush. No tackling. Bang. All right, this was the play. This right here was the play. To me, this was the one that actually ended it. This will be the last one I break down, and then we'll move on to something else. I want you guys, again, like I said, let me go back to the beginning of it so I can cue it up nice and timeout. It's timeout right there. Let me pause and give you guys a picture. All right. We got 3 wide trips, right? Trips here, tight end. I'm going to break it down for you guys from an analytical standpoint. All right. I knew that this quarterback draw was coming. How do I know that this quarterback draw is coming? First of all, it's down a distance. They're not likely going to throw it. It's first and goal. But what they're doing with the formation is they're spreading the defense out by having 3 guys wide, 1 guy out here. And with the weapons that the Philadelphia Eagles have, you have to respect the fact you can't put, you can't load up the box. So it's scary to know that you have that kind of talent on the perimeter. And then you have a quarterback that can take you with the quarterback draw. But not only do you have a quarterback that can hit the QB draw and, take it to the end zone, you have a running back that's willing to stick his nose in there and be the lead blocker. I'm going to say it again. Lead blocker. Let me go right back to the quote. Blocking and tackling. Blocking and tackling. Listen to the great Vince Lombardi. Blocking and tackling. Blocking and tackling. Blocking and, did I say it enough? Blocking and tackling. That's what the game is all about. You have the best running back in the National Football League who's also a lead blocker going into this play. To me, this was the game. This was actually when the game was actually over, is when you have your lead blocker being your running back and he leads Jalen Hurts into the end zone. Now, you don't have to go I formation. You don't have to make it to where you have the traditional fullback and tailback and, make it obvious that you're going to run the power, but they're running a power play from trips, right? They have 3 guys wide. They have a wide formation to where you got to respect the guys on the perimeter, and they're still able to run power out of that. That's when you got an offense, man. That's when you got a scary offense, is when you have the ability to do that. That is the game of football, okay? So watch Saquon lead Jalen Hurts right into the end zone. This was the game. This is the last play I'll break down for you guys. Boom, boom, boom. Bang. Right there. Watch it. Right there. Get off me. Get the F out of here, little boy. That's what he said. Do you understand, as a defensive guy, how frustrating that is to have a guy that can take it to the house? You give it to him as a back. And again, all you young running backs, you got to tune into what I'm telling you right now. You have got to make sure you take in what I'm explaining to you guys right now, to the point where now I'm going to make sure my sound has been working, because it has happened before. All right. Yeah, it's working. Yeah. So how frustrating it is to have a guy that can take it to the house, and then he's also being willing to be the lead blocker on plays like this. He's got it. Hat on a hat, hat on a hat, hat on a hat, hat on a hat, touchdown. Goodbye. That was the play. That was the play. In every football game, there's going to be one play. There's going to be one play that dictates that ends it. This was the play that ended it right here. Because you have this guy, and you have this guy coming, and they're leading Jalen Hurts through the hole to the point where now he becomes the fullback, he becomes the tailback, and you don't have the guys in the box anymore to stop that run like you would normally have in like a bunch formation. All right. Bang. Look at that. He's going out and bang, bang, hat on a hat, touchdown. All right. All right. I didn't expect to have to break down that film, but that was my first time really watching it and breaking it down the way I wanted to, the way that ESPN, again, a lot of you guys that you watch, a lot of the stuff that goes on in the mainstream media, they won't cover it the way I just broke it down for you. And as we move forward now, the make your move kickoff question, I have to ask the question, and I spoke about this earlier on the video. Just look at the video, and I'll post a picture of it, image of it a little later on today. But the question now, the make your move kickoff question, based on everything that went down this yesterday, and I'll probably cover it a little bit more later on in the week, is do we now start looking at Andy Reid as the official GOAT? Is he officially the GOAT of football? Is he officially the greatest coach of all time? And I want just this again, I'm just gonna kind of put it out there, and then we'll chat about it throughout the week as we move forward and stuff like that. But this is now the second time. So my answer to this question, it's still a no, because I like Bill Belichick, and I think Bill Belichick is still the greatest football coach to have ever coached the game. I mean, particularly being a defensive guy, someone that's played defense, studied the defensive side, has come from the defensive side of the football. I look at what Andy Reid has done, and I think about the games I've watched, the big games that the Chiefs have won and all that kind of stuff. And I think about the defense, the Chiefs defense, Steve Spagnuolo. I mean, he has been absolutely incredible, dialing up blitzes, and the fact that he's won a Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator with the Giants before. I just think that, Steve Spagnuolo deserves just as much credit as Andy Reid for the success that they had. But the conversation needs to be had. I want to take nothing away from Andy Reid. To have your former team coming and playing against your former team again in the Super Bowl, that's something that says a whole lot about him as a leader, the culture that he's built, the overall way he builds his program and stuff like that. So the question for today, and I'll put out there and I'll continue to share it throughout the day, make your move kickoff question, is Andy Reid officially the GOAT when it comes to coaching? So all that, I know it's a little different today, but I had to break it all down for you. I'm still licking my wounds and getting over this loss, but I needed to break all that down for you. And I'm happy I actually got a chance to do it, because just Friday was a couple of days last week. You guys know I just figured out how to screen share. So I'll be doing a whole lot more of these breakdowns for you as we move forward in the football season and football years and stuff like that. Because this is what I do. I'm a scout by trade, became, author, business owner, doing all this stuff now. But I learned the business through doing exactly what I did throughout the video. As a player, I was the scout team player. So I had to go to meetings. I had to basically was starting my coaching career while I was playing at Stony Brook. So I'd be the one breaking down film and, trying to be that guy that was getting his foot in the door when it comes to the coaching world. So all of those skills are still in me. So all that being said, main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, it's makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. Again, don't forget, tap into the Patreon link. We're going to break down a lot of the teamwork lessons that I have learned on the football field, and, align those with your businesses and all that kind of stuff. So everyone out there, continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.